Hello Uganda, hello Africa, and the entire globe. My name is Joshua Mitala, and this is the Profile 256, a show where we get to share stories of people that have made it in life, people that hope to make it in life, and people that think can make it in life. I believe you could be falling in one of the categories out there. And today I'm with one legendary TV personality, none other than Luzzeandrewanderson. Most of the times I'm always behind the camera, but today I need to be in front of the camera. So Luzze yani.
Joshua Mitala Mnange, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. You know, the fact that, you know, Ochiroza Konogama Mine, Kasaja, at least covered the Coco TV for some time.
10 years.
10 years on
plus,
TV.
10 years plus on TV. So, Bakuzalawa, who are you?
Now, my story is a little bit confusing. Nyiza, Kavyamu, Sanyukibwamuko. But anyway, I was born 1988. I think it was the 19th of February. So
most
I'm
people
quite.
Don't always talk about the year in which they were born. So that's about 31 years or 30 years.
31 years, yeah. So I'm very mature. It was so absurd that growing up, I had my dad, of course, Balibamita Chigundo Grace. Then my mom called Nanyanzi Mary. I was born, I think, in Mulago Hospital. That's what I'm thinking. So Captain Chigundu was, of course, a soldier. Then my mom was just a businesswoman. Watuzalida side is Zana, Awansi. But I don't have much to say about my parents because I lost my mom, I think, when I was like 3 years. Naye tata yasoko kufa after like dad died. He died of HIV, by the way. Yafa silimu. Yali akamala okufa manya bamaje, they could have different wives around. So he had one wife, of course, with a couple of kids, like 3 of them. Then he had my mom, of which my mom tugatama manetata. Me and my other sister, we are 2, but we are a big family of like 12 kids all together. So she bachitegeza mamange ali mugezi alina abaana 12 mu batata 10. Yeah. That was so crazy. So when my dad dies, after like I didn't even see him, but I remember seeing him like once when I was still a newborn, you know, when I was still like a kid. So after him dying, wait till like 1 week, then also my mom died.
Wow.
With it. So 1 week. So now the good thing that our mom.
Let's get this right. Like today.
Yes.
So after 1 week.
Yep.
Your mom.
Yes.
Passed on as well.
Yes, and I was like around 3 years. So both now gone.
So Bali Balwala, like, what was that kind of health? Were they
now let's look at the HIV of 1988. Let's look at that HIV of 1988. That is the time, of course, when if you find an orphan right now, and they lost their parents in that period, you know, their parents died of that HIV, which was an epidemic them days, you know, because by then there wasn't even safe birth, like, you know, the mom is having HIV, the dad is having HIV, and then you give back to a kid who doesn't have HIV. It wasn't there. So katinze nebanzalira mwedi swaga. What's the mom had it, the dad had it, and then me I'm inside there, but they are not safe giving birth. Thank God. Nebanzala, and they didn't test me, by the way. They didn't test me. I was like in my senior 3, second term. Then I overheard my sisters talk about it, and then they are like, and that's when omanyingo bawuliriza bali mu ddiiro go baloza toleewo bagenda okuwulira munange tetwamukebeza nange twali tumanya ayinza okuba nga ayina biki. I was like, okay, but because now nali nsomera ku Eagle's Nest, which is in Mengo, HIV Information Center is just a walkable distance. So I'm like, nino gena nenekebeza. So I went and I tested and I was negative because I had never had sex. Wow. The entire time.
Thank God.
The entire time. So when I was
safe, is in a space of about 1 week.
Yeah.
Where were you living by then?
Now try to wait aside this as Zana. You see Zana before you reach the roundabout. Like 20 steps before you reach the roundabout, at all those houses which are down, that's where we used to stay. So it was very tricky because our mom now is having 12 kids in 10 dads. I watched together. So the good thing she did was buli omu gwe yazaalanga wherever she used to stay with the kids.
So that you go mzeo, like in your dad, the captain Chibu, how many kids are you?
Two. Two.
Wow.
So banena bala dad one. But she used to stay to protect her kids. Bonaona yabiranga nabo yenga ye okitegera kibule. So she did not give you that time to know your others, manya daddies, manya relatives and all that. So when she dies, we are now left just like that. So now we are 6 of us because so we are 6. I'm the last born and I'm the only boy in the family. That means you've grown up in this kind of life where your dad is a captain who owned most of the petrol stations on the Entebbe Road, and then you're having a mom, she had bars, she had, stuff. And see, the eldest is like 16 years. The eldest is a sister, 16 years. But the good thing she did, yasasulanga fees nga yinza okusasula omwaka mulamba. Ne kirasi joddamu. That is my sister, my mom. Nga abaana be asobola okusasulira paka olimala P7. Naye ng'oli mu P3. So it means it can keep taking you even when she's not around. But of course, kimu kimaze okuggwaawo. Now we don't have wetubeera relatives. The relatives, what they always do, they sell off stuff, they try to share you, they tried sharing us, but again we were not comfortable. Jitwalinga tubeera, life wasn't good, so netwekomyawo netweddamu netwegatta. So we are born again Christian, era twakulira mu kanisa, that's what I would say. So there was a church jitwalinga tugendako bagita Yesu akwagala eseguko near Chameleon's place around. So wetugendanga ku kanisa, mugendanga family, you come 6 of you. So yeah, by then ngansomera naye kati awo nali mu holiday, nali nsomera, I think nali sinama nagenda ku highway, I think nali nakava mu bino ebintu bya top class biki P1 ngewedde kati nenogera mu P2 P3. Bali bagita quality primary bwe bali bagita. So I went there, ekanisa etandika okutuyamba. Anyway, we go at church, we go 6 of us. Kati surprisingly balaba buli kanaku family jayo naye ku luno waliwo akalenzi akamisinga. Then the Bazungus, who were missionaries, Papa Ron and Grandma Shirley, nebabuza my sisters, where is the other boy, the boy that you always move with, because I was the youngest. And then they are like, Jali, hasigadde nani, Jali. And then these guys kept on asking, Waliwa. So when it was bugging them, then they are like, why not? Katumugambi, Jali waka, he's sick. So who is taking care of him? And then they're like, no one, we just close him in the house. And then he's like, how can you do such a thing? Where are your parents? And then they're like, we don't have any. And then they're like, don't you have relatives? And then we're like, we don't have none. It's just us.
Do you remember what you were suffering from?
I think I was having malaria. So then they're like, okay, you guys, you can come over for dinner. So we went for dinner, and then they decided to take care of us. Babirenga batulabirira kati. So they were good to us. Yesu akwagala, Papa Ron. Ne batuyamba okutusomesa nze bantandika, I think from P3. Ati awo nali ngenze ku bali bagiyita Highway Primary School naye eri Seguko. Yes.
So you ended up from Highway Primary School.
Highway Primary School. P3. So we started staying with these guys. Nengenda paka P5. But because now my sisters were babeeranga mu bisulo. Kati atinge wakati wali agenda kubeera, and we are young ones. So what they decided to do was nga banteeka musulo naye kati holiday wetuuka nga tubeera nabo. So P5 awo nga nze head prefect, obayi masomero head girl, head boy ne head prefect. P5 I'm the head prefect. Highway Primary School. And the reason why I was the head prefect because I could communicate to Luzze.
Which kind of person were you? Were you so much into probably were you into acting, were you samba mpira by then primary?
Me, from the word go, I've always loved debating. debate is neno. This water is better than fire.
Is better than fire.
Those things. Those things there. So I used to do much of those because now I'm in primary 5, because these guys they give you that self-esteem. That self-esteem. Because I was being with them day in, day out, my communicating skills were good. I could communicate bulungi. But something you didn't know. Mama wange banza langa sina slim later. Bantuma Isaac. So Luzze is not my name. Andrew is not my name. Anderson is not my name.
So what are your real name?
Luzze Isaac.
Wow.
Yeah.
Luzze Isaac.
Isaac. But when I was in my primary 6, my primary 3, I didn't know how to spell Isaac.
Wow.
But I had my friend who was called Andrew. And I could spell Andrew. Nengenda ni Andrew. Kati kusomero waliyo Madam Nakato, big up, she's still there. So Madam Nakato nangamba erinnya tulina kubeera Luzze. Abenchima balina kubeera Luzze. Aya basi ka I ne kafuuka ka I. So ne maliriza nga nina Andrew.
So kati kwa munasari wale wanika Luzze.
Nasari anti abo baba kuyigiriza ebintu byotategera naye kati wano binga bitegera tegera.
So kati 5 oli head prefect ku highway primary school.
Then I do a lot of I used to do a lot of debates. Kati nga debate yawo ye mwagala
relatives bajja later on ba uncle, maybe a sister to your mom, a brother to your mom, or sister to your dad, or brother to your dad, probably to follow up over our niece or our nephew, none of them came up?
It was in my senior 6 vacation when namanya ekyalo kyange, my village, and that is in Nakauka. I had a friend, because my dad was called Captain Chigundo Grace, very light-skinned guy. Yali agana kwesimba oba mu bya Kampala, something like that. Nalaba ekifaananyi kye nina kyokka ebyo ebintu ebipande by'okwesimbawo. So ngamba mukwano gwange oyo wokkaalo munyumya nagamba taata wange Captain Chigundo Grace, nagamba sibo yo taata wange. That is now senior 6 vacation. Namugamba oyo taata wange, oyo taata wange. Then I went to my sister and I told my sister, you see this guy, agamba tata waffe ye taata we. Tugamba no, we have to find out. How do we find out? Then we go ekyayamba nga jajjawo oyo omwana gyali azaala taata we, and the distance was walkable, okitegeera. So we walk there, ne tugendayo ewaabwe, then n'atugamba jajjaawe nti bataata bamwe banjawulo. Owono yali Captain Chigundo Grace, owo yali just Chigundo Grace. Olaba kati wakinagamba taata wamwe yali mweru nnyo naye ate taata wange yalinga wa business, taata wono, okitegeera. So agamba naye yayinako omuntu omulala gwe yalinga akozesa emirimu naye ali wali naye nga it is a walkable distance. Then we go there, onagamba bannange omwami mujjukira biki mwina ne muganda we atutwala olowooza wawuya inseguku gyatutwala tutwala Kibuye. Then we get to see the tata muganda wa tata wange. Then he's like abana you know, the abana abaze bagita bacha abaseuka abazao. Yes. Then he takes us to the village Nakauka. But my sisters, because we grew up together and we did not know all those other we grew up as a family. So my sisters never wanted us to get into those things. No. Because I grew up asking them, where do they bury me? So that's how we find out all these things. Of course, I want to you cannot blend them.
So kati omaliriza senior 1 to senior 3, senior 4 choose something. So at senior for life here at school, wali prefect?
In senior 1 katwaina abakyali nga abayita abazagaza mwalimu noisy preacher yakola kati zi video. I always Eagles. I always to be young, but I could easily assist with people above classes. So I was with the bazagazas, mwalimu spoiler, noisy preacher, who is now noisy preacher, akola zi video muyimbi. Then ngatubera with the likes of the Mickey Wine, tubera with the likes of Fatty Chris, Pakamani, very many. Uganda Miss Uganda, yeah, it's still there. Uganda Miss, like, you know, but they could sing, all of them could sing. Era nomuzagaza ngafe tukola, instead of doing assemblies, we used to do flag ceremony. So flag ceremony, people come eberanga concert boss. Naye yo nga ye assembly yaffe. Headmaster ali black American, muzungu muzibu, omuwala wosalako enviirizo akawalata goddeyo waka. Bakuze wakanga, I had like too much hair like this. Yes, for some reasons, because the owner of the school is called Pastor Don, he's called Dosway, Pastor Dosway. So Dosway, because he's a pastor and I'm from a church, these two pastors connected, and then that's how they ended up taking us that side. So netugenda netusoma naye ng'era nze bo bakola ebyabwe bayimba naye nga nze debate yokka and I used to be I'm a very humble person, I'm a very shy person. I don't interact a lot, I don't talk to people, I don't like crowds unless it is necessary. Okitegera sigenda simanya ebyo simanya kwanjula mbaga simanya, I don't.
So kati Eagles Nest omaliriza senior fodda
as awongendere Kajan's progressive.
Kajan's still wali mu debate
candidate class, but again I was in books. Me growing up, I used to watch a lot of TV. So during the day I can do anything, but at night I watch TV. Even up to now I can watch TV from 7 to 7 in the morning.
Wow.
So nga ebitabo mbisobola emisana tubera tu relaxing, you know, you don't care, but ekiro nsobola okusoma kuva ku ssaawa 4 nga abaana bamaze prep until morning. Tugenda ozuuka ku makya kitabo kye natutte nga ngamba soma busomi line osomeemu nenkumalirayo ebisigadde byonna. Wallahi abaana twali tubasobola.
Kati Kajansi ng'okikuba senior fort wadda mu entertainment?
No, I wasn't in entertainment in any way. Only debate. I didn't. And then now, Kajansi, I finished up. You know, that's the time I think I lost my. No, that's not there. Then Nemvayo, senior 5, Nensomero senior 5, senior 6, senior 6 again. I left. Nengenda Bishop Dunstan Kalangala.
Senior 5.
Senior 6.
Kalanga.
Candidate class jina chusizanga.
Senior 5 wali.
Nabere Kajan's progressive.
No dayo senior 5.
Then
senior 4
I was no. I did PEM. Nakola. I did MEG. That is mathematics. Yeah, mathematics, economy. Senior 4 bana make. One thing I know, I passed mathematics, geography. Twakola commerce. No, twakola commerce. Ne commerce na ine mwita. Entrepreneurship ali batansomoletera naye ka point akamwako nakafuna.
Senior 5 ngochali ku Kajansi progressive. Ngokola MEG. So who is paying tuition?
Yeah, still it is them doing. Katiao, they had gotten a big house for us, Katinga jetubeera ne family, because kati tukuze batufunirayo omuntu ku kanisa, the 6 of us. Ne batufunirayo omuntu omu ku kanisa atukuuma. But of course, I think they used to get paid. I'm not so sure. Nayenga, they give us upkeep. Nga buli mwezi bakusasula buli mwezi, all of us buli omu bamusasula sente ze. I think about 12 all of us. Nayenga ezo zibera upkeep, and then they buy food and everything buli omu kyalina okuba nga akozesa.
Kati senior 6 ng'olumba Kalangala.
Senior 6 nyumba Kalangala. Kati Kalangala twalina team. we had a team of guys. We were all Andrews. Era still, nzabagamba. Yeah. Kati. By the way, out of those people helping us, right now they've helped over 10,000 kids around the world, more so in Africa. 10,000 abana nebasoma nebamala. After us coming through them, nebatuyamba, nebalabanga they can help other kids. It was through us that they created God Islam. You know, God Islam katinga onogamba an NGO ayamba abana obuchitegera. And now they've helped over 10,000 kids. They have over 5 schools around the country. They have over 20 boreholes around the country. They have over 20 churches that have come out of that because of that one thing that they helped us do. So, of course, I go to Kalangala, I do my senior 6, but because we were 3 Andrews, there was Okedi Andrew, Andrew Flows, then there was also me, the Andrew. So we were like, let's choose a district if na. Buli omu gyagenda abasinge. If I try to trace over, it goes next, basoma the best 10 students. It is the crazy boys that are the best. Wow. Fenga fetu chikuba waliwo Shemex Kizito oyo yali mubi era kati alina neba promoters bakola nabo oyo yali mubi. Yeah, I go to Kalangala, I study, then I also finish that side senior 6 away. But because our abazungu omwana waabwe omu yali pilot, they call it pilot. Yeah. Meg, stroke economics. I wanted to be a pilot. Growing up, okuva wentandika okutegeera kaka, yeah? Okuva wentandika okutegeera, nze njagala kubeera pilot. I cannot even forget nayimbako, nze njagala kubeera pilot. P1. I still remember that. My entire life, I've never thought of any career. Nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, Meg was the right
yeah.
line. So,
senior 6 I did well. Nafuna yeah. Aba senior 6 wafuna make is best. 25. I think I got like 40 something.
It's up 40 something.
Hey, sina kuwera ki.
Bafuna 25 yabakoze obulungi.
Nezigenda nga zika. Hey.
By then, sure.
I think.
What Meg what?
I make economics, but you know paper bizanga. So when mala siroozangako kubeera into any career. I've never thought of being in any career. Ngamba kati njagala kulumba piloting. Remember, those people who are helping us, one of their daughters is a pilot. So I grew up and they're encouraging me, you'll be that, you'll be that. Now, after senior 6, that's when economic crunch comes in. That's the time the Twin Towers are crushed. America doesn't have money to spend on now you people they donate, stuff for. Now baina kati okwefaako. Nga sinaba kujoininga. Tuli muvaka. I cannot forget that. I felt very bad. So, ekanisa awo yakoma okunyongerayo. Emanya kati omuntu aide, but now my sisters have grown up, some of them have gotten married. So one of my sisters called Kate, nangamba agenda olabe, because now my other sister called Lillian, bumper trials, ebigezo okuyingiza. They give you 100 questions, but mathematics, you're not supposed to use a calculator. Then you answer them, then you're good to go. You're supposed to get 90 and above, but it is simple mathematics. So, and I had done mathematics, so I did and I passed. I got 95 out of 100. So I now qualify. So Nagamba administration fee, Nenzi Sasula Nenkubewaka, they gave me again. It was Ket. And I was supposed to be paying 1,000. We were supposed to pay $18,000. Wow. By then, I think it was around 36 million. And I was supposed to be doing PPF. PPF, that's a private pilot's license. I stayed in Sorority Flying School for one month. And then I noticed we could not raise that money. I go back home.
It's you. Where was
I told them and they could not raise the money. So I had to leave the flying school. I went back home. nembeera ewaka nga nze sina kyengenda soma because nkuze ekyo kyokka kika kyenjagala okuba. So netugenda, I stayed home. Then they are like, no, it's all lows age. And I sina kyensoma. I'm either going for flying or I'm not doing school. Nentula 1 year. Nentula 1 year ngendo laba ngenda semba mukino ekintu. Then my sister opted for nangamba ngende to different universities to see if I can get maybe any admin any course. So I ended up getting bali bajita batya whatever, computer science.
University.
All of them they gave me because we went to Makerere, we went to Chambogo, but they all gave me that. So I'm like, no worries. So it was 1 week to go join Makerere. And I never liked Makerere ever since I was a kid. I don't like crowded places. Ogenda kusasula 13 for any ebintu ebakubanja naye no simba line okumala week, you know. So you're going to get food and kids are very many. I don't like that. So I grew up not liking Makerere at all because I saw like the kids were very many.
So which university?
So as I was going to join 2 days too,
Which
and then
campus?
Makerere.
2 days too.
And then my sister is like, yalabiyo mukwano gwe omwana yasoma ebya medical laboratory birabika bijja kola yagenda okuteeka musente. I'm like, oh my goodness. And I never like to be in the medical world because I don't like blood. I hate blood. But of course it's not going to be you paying your fees, your tuition, so it's your sister, so you're supposed to go on what she's saying. And now she's married, remember, she's having kids also to take care of, and the husband. So I'm like, cool, no problem. I join a medical school.
Where?
Nasoka joining a one in Nansana. Then later, nali nsoma medical laboratory. Yeah, medical laboratory technician.
Okay.
So nikula akasoma nga tekakola bulungi. Then we went to Wanene Mengo, vajita Medicare. Namalayo like 1 year. Naine tulaba nga tekitambula bulungi. It was a simple school, so we went to Medicare Health Professionals College in Mengo. So nensoma.
You started out fresh. You didn't proceed.
I proceeded just. There was supposed to be 2 years. So nensomayo 2 years. I was doing a certificate. Nalimaze. And then my sister now, she's gotten broke, sent this child abulungi. I worked in a hospital.
So you have the papers?
Sazijjayo. Nasoma nebya journalism sazijjayo.
Empapulazo?
Yeah. Yes, sazijjayo. No, I worked in a hospital health center in Ndeje. And because later I developed the love for the medics, more so when it comes to body fluids, because our lab, it's all about those fluids, samples, or it's either sputum or whole blood or stool or those things.
So Limi will take it all.
And the money. So I worked in a hospital for 1 year. Kati muzita bana banano bazita internship. For tuzita attachments. So I worked there, but because I was good at what I was doing and I looked a kid and I had too much hair on me, patients were very okay working with me than these elderly doctors or the lab technicians. So I could inject 100 people per day on a minimum. 100 people taking samples because ngazeneita oji ogubuze gwendaba. I cannot forget baletaka kakazi mchala nga mukade nyo nga aine nkanyenya ina. The Basaos tried to get a sample from her and they failed. So they bangama mwite oji. I don't have to look at you to get blood out of you. I can feel the vessel and I will collect blood. Kati atomu tu wachukolo bulungi doesn't hurt. Tebiruma. I collected blood. I was the only one doing TB. Yeah? They call it something different. I was the only one doing TB. Now when I'm in the lab, I'm there alone. But I wasn't paid, you know. And according to the salary paying or minimum wage here in Uganda, they get ka little money balika bafuna emitwalo 25 omwezi.
Minimum.
No, bazirina ez'abaalabu. Yes, bazirina. It was little money. I was like, mwana bino byambwa naye nga I had developed the love yekitegeera.
So n'okolayo mwaka gumu.
I left.
What stopped you from being with those papers?
Kati
bali
tebamanja naye if I move on, I move on. That's my problem. If I move on, I move on. And I move on very fast. I just leave.
Okay.
So awo kati in between nga tukyali mu ebyo waliwo omuwala yabadde backing up BOBIWINE today. I'm backing yesterday, of course, during her concert. Bamita, oh my goodness, I'm going to forget your name. A very good lady. Bamita Shadow. Shadow. Kati nkyalimu, kati nkyasoma. Kati Shadow no tuba tuli awe, you know, like in our cubicle, you know, hostels with my other cousin called Deborah Nakaliowa. Yeah, no, try kati awusina gena mengo nali nkyali the other side of Nansana in that medical school. Then tulaba WBS TV. And then they are advertising for the best TV presenter in Uganda, and it was dubbed the Icon. They went to all the universities, Mackay, Kiambo, Gonkumba, IU, the Christian University. They went to all of the universities. So I told my cousin, Abombakuba, because me have always been with TV anywhere. And we grew up ngate tulimba. Nangamba soko kubemu akapera koleno show. I do that show. Koleno, I do that show. Koleno, I do that show. Nangamba obasobola. Kati we don't lie because that's how we grew up. Nangamba obasobola. We ngambo basobola namanya kati mbasobola ba. Tewali transport yagendayo. Kati bali bagenze in all the universities, but now they've not come to the rest of Uganda. Medical schools, they did not come. So I did not have an opportunity to join in there. So when they called the rest of Uganda, I remember Hakim the Dream was there, Radio City, the likes of the Mackenzies were there, Patrick Konen was there, the people organized there. So I don't have transport. Katininganga gezako funaka girlfriend. Oyo Shadow ya bankinga BOBIWINE oyo mwale yabadde momo. And for her, she was an artist by then. Ngawandike nyimba naye nga ali mu senior 6 oba senior 5 kitegera nga yeeyiya. Nangamba Anderson ninamuko kasente jukira ye abeera mudde abeera wakafe tuli mu hostels. Kati ngaakuwayo 5 nakuwa omutwalo. I went n'ennumba Icon yali eri awo kati yali National Theatre non-national theatre. That I love the Medicare ochali mengo. Anti awo ndi mukunyumiza. Kati inansana nga nkyali mu medical school. Wengenda mwezo competitions with her help because yali ayimba already. Inawo Zida nga yawandikira Zida nyimba era ne Zida yali kayagala kwesimbawo currently. Ngenda ku eyo bagiyita batya eyo wabeera abayimbi National Theatre. So I got the National Theatre. Wallahi nakola my first presentation. Bagambirawo yagenda basinga n'abaana bonna ne boogererawo. Of course mwalimu ba Natalia Ozi, mwalimu omwala omulala oyo akola ku Bukedde simanya Kasengeja, mwalimu Web Daniel Sebakije, mwalimu very many of those oyo omulala akola ku NBS Yoshoya Travel. I beat all of them hands down. The first take, all of them. Cleopatra and that's how I won. Remember, I had the background of debating, katingase debate, nemugatamu kati TV, mbambe so ochitegera ndaba TV, mbadde debating, so I beat them hands down. Totally. I remember Patrick Konen, at one moment he said, you've done that very good. Okay, now you try Showtime Magazine. I did that. Okay, you try doing Struck at the Late Night Show. I did that. Still, okay, you try. It's like, you boy. Kumbe, I was debating. So that's how I passed through. Named Tam 100%. Name from Muavamuno na Gumpa. Nchali kati ya Nansana kati shiftinga au tugenze kati mengo. But I'm juggling between the books and then TV. kati no eddwaliro zalinga attachments.
So you were on for the attachment program?
Yes. Kati eri nali kati maze saddayo ku attachment nesigala nga nsoma naye ng'ate wenkola ne ku TV. Ebintu nga binyuma naye ng'obeerawo ekiro ssaawa nga 6-7 then Barbara Yatta nakubira essimu, Anderson, man, you know, there's some international artist who is coming, can you go at Serena and cover for me? I don't feel like working. Aya basi ne way ya transport ogenda ku Serena kwambala ng'oli smart, then you do the things.
By then WBS said
no, the WBS, when they hired us, they were giving us 122 2,000 to insinuated me to join TV. It's not like I wanted to be a celebrity. Nze sagala nga kukuba celebrity. Wallahi, I never wanted to be a celebrity. I wanted to talk, because I used to do debate. So I wanted to talk to a bigger crowd. So that's what influenced me to go there, not to be a star, not to be ku TV, because to me it seemed normal.
Cannot stay here at the medical school. Bakusasude emitwalo gy'okumina okunya akayumba ebukoto. So ekintu kya medical world ekyo kita like there instantly you leave it and then jump onto journalism.
When I left the school and I went there, by the way, but 222 zali tutu zoka zoka. It was 222,222 zebali batua. So when we bayo nengena nenfuna nyumba. I remember I moved with my mattress and my suitcase. I came to Bukoto, it was around 7 ezekiro. Ku engine kwa nyinyi kwe bandeka nenyimirira bwenti. Nenda bo musajja course nemuyita. Nemugamba njagala ennyumba nambuzo ina sente meka nemubulira abiri gange. Nangamba waliwo eri awo. It was just from here to there. Nengendawo nenyinga nengamba ale nanyinyo nonga kabulaza njagala ku. Now they left, they went back to America. They stayed there. We were communicating by the literal, you know, because they had now over thousands plus kids they are helping, you know, at least back to Siza, you know, hustle with the world. I get a house and start working. You know, I'm not used. Kati biwe. Kati we nakola like for months naga ye mfachi. Nembirekera dala. They were not paying me. The only time they paid me, Ndeje Health Center for. The only time they paid me bampa nusulu 10. Remember, on average, nali mfumita abantu 10. Nga some of the tests like TB, it was only me. Nga nkukolera slide. Olaba oli ayinza ogamba malaria omulaba. In the microscope and you cannot tell. Naye nga nze nkukolera slide ngeri clean ngolaba malaria kati TB wange ng'omulaba. I was bad, and you know I developed a lot for the medication. By the way, I start working. Morning Flavor, the concept comes in. Still, it's I kept in the gym together with Patrick Conan. We do that show there. The whole concept for them was to do an entertainment, international kind of a show. Talk about the likes of the Kanye West, the Beyoncés, you know, the Kim Kardashians. But remember, way back, those are not my interests. By the way, I'm not a fan of music. I cannot watch music for like 1 hour. I cannot. I watch movies. So basically, I ended in the thing that I wasn't prepared for. So I start doing that entertainment show. But now they want me to be international, talk about those international stories, like how the likes of Mackenzie's used to do. But now I don't understand those things. But now there are artists that I understand, the artists that I see. Because being at Eagle's Nest, I could relate with these people. So now where I used to stay, now BEBECOOL is staying around. Like, mukazigo kange kenali ngamberamu nga Kasuku mulangira ndawusi DJ Brian wa BEBECOOL mbamba uliranga boogera mukazigo kange. So when they saw me on TV, so they're like, you can come over, young to chilling. I stayed with them for a couple of years, so I could get much content. You know, Kasuku mentored me in one way or the other. Mulangira ndaus, then BEBECOOL, then, you know. So I was, so now it became easy for me to go on TV and I talk about these things in the entertainment world. I'm relating, these are the people that I always stay with. So it was easier for me. So I drifted the show from the international concept that they wanted it to the local, slowly. Back I traveled local. Because, you know, TVs in Uganda, when it comes to producers, we don't have producers for studies. We don't have producers. Most of these presenters are the ones who come up with their content. Most so when it comes to the musical programs, it is the presenter to design everything almost. So it's not like the international TVs where the producer does basically everything. Yeah. So, morning flavor, 30 minutes. And we could nail it. It was really bad. So yo. And at one moment, when I was drifting it, they called me in the meeting and they asked me, Anderson, can you really afford? Can you maintain it? Is it sustainable? Okay, try it. I did it. I got every artist you would think of in Uganda. Only Juliana that I didn't work with. And I didn't, very good. I became a celebrity not knowing it. You get the point? You're a star, oli wakabi, okola ebintu ebinyuma, but I'm young, it's my first job, sibitegi. I just do my job. You get the point? So I did not develop the pride names, I did not develop, you know, those things. I was normal. Just that I could get like too much money, you know, the likes of the SK Mbuga, the likes of Sipapa, the likes of Ivan Semwanga. Oh my goodness.
How did you leave WBS?
Oh my goodness.
And why would you leave it?
Now, the way how I left WBS, now there are those wrangles between WBS and the URA, Uganda Revenue Authority. They're having some problems. There are areas that they were supposed to be paying some taxes and all that. So, like what happened in the news is also what I know, that, you know, Wavamono had taxes to pay, he had spent some time without paying. So, they shift WBS to URA to see if they can make money and they get their areas. But I left WBS and now they have paid me too much money. I shifted like 3 times. Wow. I left that place there. Then I got a small other house, very tiny. Very tiny, like these chairs. Very tiny, very small, like 3 steps. If you get it, be sat when I remember. Then again, yeah. Then again, just behind again, relax. Then I left there. Awoba. Abachalanga banji. So I've not been in a relationship that entire time. I've not been in a relationship that I understand. I remember I spoiled because of the lifestyle, you know. I could move to any club. I just go to a club and people will get me drinks. Everything is on the house. But I thought, by the way, let me tell you, I thought that's how life is. Because remember, this is my first job. People called me, rich people called me. My first time okubera Mohama, it was SK Mbuga. People call me from abroad. People assist, like everything is on a silver platter. I could be with 10 people in the house. I moved to a club and everyone is sorted. I could not lack. So I thought that's how life is. If you grow up with kids and you're driving, omwana bagenda omuzaala abira mu motoka. Akuzaali mu motoka. Yaba amanyi omuntu alina kuba na motoka. That's what life is. Oje kati me, my first job, I thought happiness.
Happiness. Money. Kati WBS budget deko ta nati.
So bajitekako nati and URA is there. So they wanted to cut off some of the employees because they had worked for a long period of time. You look at the people like Drake Sekeba, 2016, I'm not so sure. I was there 7 years. Okay. I was there 7 years. So now they wanted to they wanted to cut off some of the employees. But how they could do it, they could frustrate you and then you leave. Because they're supposed to give you your benefits. But now they cannot afford for these people who have been there for a long period of time. The likes of Drake Sekeba, Straka, the Charles Oimuke, the different people who are there. Ese Zomuto. So you're calculating the benefit of these people, and the money is too much because you're supposed to divide their salary into half, and then you multiply it by the years that they've worked.
Wow.
Now, these guys are so many. How are you going to do that? So they frustrate you, and you fire yourself. So now they started frustrating me. I stopped bringing guests. Then away from that, they are limiting me lots of stuff. Away from that, even the content that I bring to present, they don't want to put it there. So there was a story I wanted to do, and I wanted them to show pictures, and now they don't want to show the pictures. I was on the set. I'm like, guys, you do not show my pictures. I'm on set. I'm on TV. You don't show my pictures. I'm leaving. So and producer, if I leave... You said the producer to show. I said that on TV. I'm working on air.
That was your last day.
That was my last day. I'm like, you don't show these pictures. I'm leaving. And I'm not coming back. On air. I'm like, show the pictures. They failed to show. I'm like, show the pictures. They failed to show the pictures. I moved out.
You moved out?
I moved out.
To a signing out?
Nope. I left. That's how I ended WBS TV.
Did you ever think of the consequences of that kind of decision?
I always move on very fast. That's the problem.
So, WBS, what next?
It was my hardest life ever. It was very terrible. I could not afford the house now. Most of the friends that I had left. I used to be with lots of people at home, very many artists at home. They all left. All of them left. So I was now in Kulambiro. That's where I was staying. I was paying around 400. I could not afford the house now. Remember, I wasn't saving. Money was coming just on a daily. It was the hardest time ever. So now, bangambe nyumba ino jivamo ino sasula. Bamanje miezi 3. In short, nadduka budus. I called my friend at night. It was around 8. Then I called my friend and I'm like, you know what, Bamita Widi is my blood, one of my best friends, but I can spend a year without talking to him. So we left Naja with a car. Yeah, we got a car. I had a full house. So we got a car. I went to my sister's apartment around Freedom City. News has not been good in one way or the other, but me, one thing I always said is that as long as you choose that career and you enjoy it and you have fun out of it, enjoy the rest of the things that come over it.
It made rounds.
Yeah, they did. I don't care. Remember, I didn't come in this thing to be a star or a celebrity. I was doing something I want. The difference between, you know, you get the point. Nayenga gobo okola omulimu gobeera ku TV. Nayenga ate yakusinga obwakabi naye mbulwako goli ku TV. You get the point. So enenzirayo, I went to Freedom City. Yeah. Yeah. Now, the beauty with it is that Bali bachusiza from the landlord asking for money to now a company. So the company could not look for me. So they had just drifted from there. So there, around Freedom City, it was a harsh man. It was the hardest time in my life. You could not get what to eat. Everyone is gone, you know. It was the hardest. I remember SK Angamba Kandasuno Bangwe Agalichinchona called me, but now he's also in prison. It was the hardest time ever. You're not having food, you know. It was the hardest ever. So I was like, how can I do it? But I wanted a TV which was more organized, just like WBS. So all these other TVs I saw, like they were not. 7 months. 7 months. Because where I was,
those 7 months.
Nothing. Chilling.
Like That kind
Nothing.
of like teyakusindika to do certain things.
It changed me a lot.
How?
Right now, even if I'm not working, even if I spend a year without working, I'll never leave a house. This year I'm going to start building. It changed a lot of things in my life.
Kati ngokera kumacha n'otuula.
Nenchiringa.
N'ekiro paka n'otuula.
Yeah. Nga nina bakyali naye okyali wangaawo. Omu.
Nga mukola ki n'ekyali?
Nothing. Remember, the beauty with it is that in my sister's apartment, mwali temulimu muntu. So nengendamu simusasula. Walkable distance waliwo muganda wangu omulala. Walkable distance waliwo muganda wangu omulala. But it is their family, husband and wife, and then the kids. So we could just chill. So after like 7 months, that's when I'm like, no, you know what? I have to revamp this. I had to leave even my sister's houses, the apartments, because I'm not paying her, you know, and she's losing money. So I told her I'm going to leave. I stay with one of my sisters. So I went to stay with one of my sisters. But Naonga, I inconvenience. So that's when I came up with an idea to go to Rwanda. Also, because I was watching Rwanda TV and I saw like those guys were more organized than in Uganda. Sagara kumpa mitwala abiri. So I go there. Yeah. Ngezako Rwanda TV, they were going to give me, I was on Radio City Rwanda. That's how I get a phone call for Record TV. Yeah. And they told me come as soon as possible. They had their head of production. I don't remember his name. Ibra Nemulangira. No. Ibra Nemulangira bebankubira. MD had just come. And then they were looking for people to work with. So they told them there is this young guy who can do something. So when they called me and I was looking for a job in Rwanda, I opted for the one in Uganda because it's in your country. And I knew maybe I would have a high beginning per because it's them who have called me. Yeah, they were fans. They were fans. So I come back to Uganda and they give me a job. I start working with them. 2 years now on the road.
Kati, how have those 2 years been? What are they doing here? Because you're from WBS 7 months of Kati, TV and Dala. Any changes?
It has changed a lot in my life. Everything that has happened in my life, man. Growing up, I've never been in a family. I've never been in a family where there is a mom and a dad, you know. Never. Never. I don't know those things of mother's love, you know, father's love. I don't know those things. Me, my lifestyle, the way how I live, is how we grew up. You get. So, lots of changes. And then those 7 months, I mixed without working, and I was broke. They also changed a lot in me. Me, I've grown up telling people that I want to get married. I want to get married in church. I want to have a family. I want to have kids in one female, you know, and we are married. Yeah, we are married. So I thank God I never caught HIV because of the simple background of medical. Nalaba abantu abalwadde nenda bye bali okitegeera.
Kati you are Record TV. Tuba tuli awo nga you're making rounds on social media over Zahara Toto.
Zahara Toto.
What happened? Have you guys had something between the two of you? Why would you share that kind of video on YouTube? Why would you stigmatize those young kids? Because she calls it stigmatizing. The kids that you showed in that video.
Okay, the thing is like this. I don't know. Nze nalimbire sino bireka lwakuba gwoli kablaza. Joshua Mitala. Nze nalimbivuddeko. Zahara Toto is what I could go ahead to show on air or to talk about on air. So one night, he is all over news. Agatali yuko mfufu headlines. Mbuyalidde akantu.
Akantu ki?
Akantu ka basiramu ke batagala. Then Noluti. You remember that picture? Ngatali confirmation. Kumacha bukedde olupapula era yaliko headline. Nze nagamba why. But the day before, ekiro nga temunatya, I was with the guy.
Nabyogera.
Teyabyogera. Era nze ne ngamba why. Buli omu aba ayogera ku bino. Nze kumacha we najja nayogera ku nnyumba ye. ng'agitaddeko amategula. Ngamba ennyumba yagitaddeko amategula kati kyemmanyi wano abagitaddemu siiringi biki biki era ajja kutugamba. Yes, ezo ez'akabi. I don't know, omusajja yanyiiga. Soogedde na kubiri. Omusajja yanyiiga. I received, I think, 20 calls from BEBECOOL that time. Nina kyaliwo gwe ngamba era gwe nali naye eri nga ngenze mu apartment za mugana wange era yaliwo bamuyita Wanda Julius. Wanda Julius afaanana nga BEBECOOL w'omulaba. BEBECOOL exactly nga omulaba bw'ali. Yali ayagala BEBECOOL okufaako obufi. Yalina girlfriend nga girlfriend ayagala BOBIWINE ne beekyawa ye lwakuba ayagala BEBECOOL. Ne mugamba munange ka blaza awo naali mu kkuba ng'okuva ku makya obwedda nvuma ne muteeka mu loudspeaker. Yakyawa BEBECOOL. I'm not lying, yamukyawa because yagamba kati okoze eki. Oba okirekera okukoze eki. Nothing. Biki. Kati akubira ne muzeeyi wava muno yali alina okuyimba oba ku birthday oba something. Nagamba nze sijja yimba yamba temugobya Anderson. I'm a kid, ayakava medical school, ndi fala. BEBECOOL wakabi. Wakabi ne kakati wakabi ali eno mbwawula. Abira na Museveni. Nze ndi eno fala. Kati bamwegayira our HR them days. Wava muno human resource agana. Chopa. Akubira BEBECOOL. BEBECOOL agana okunsonyiwa. I just thank God. I don't know how it happened. They did not fire me because wava muno is no sense person. Waba ayagala onayimbe ku birthday ya muwala we ng'ate ayagala kiri ajja kikola. Years later, even now, the guy is still on the same thing. 7 years later, ne ku record najja nga agamba MD bangu. Netondera omusajja asobola kwerabira zaali ssaawa ndowooza nga 5 nga Mordecai Mulisa Martin Jr. ng'agenda okufuna interview naye. Ngamba yenda sigala netondera oyo kabulaza. Netonze emyaka 7 katuligena almost 8.
So that's your message to Zara Toto and BEBECOOL. Simple message. Come.
Why? Do what makes you happy. Being happy is the most important thing. If getting angry about someone makes you happy, so be it. If keeping a grudge is what makes you happy, so be it. But when someone is apologetic, Nagam, I'm sorry, look through it. Life continues, man. Me, I'm nothing, by the way. What? Naye kati bo batukubye.
Kale. Nga tumaliriza just 2 things. Worst moment in your life.
My worst moment in my life.
That broke you down.
That really broke me down.
That could even bring your tears.
I had a girlfriend. Nga wamanyi. Buddeko. Naye. Naino omuwala nga mwagala nnyo. There are 2 moments. Naino omuwala nga mwagala nnyo. Then nengenda nenkola ebitakwatagana kale.
Last moment yo kati.
Nenkola ebitakwatagana. Nakola ebitakwatagana. Then mama we namugamba agendeko ewaka. Nali njogedde bubi ne maama we nga simanyi mbu maama we. Nali manyi it was Winnie Nwaji. So nga njogedde bubi gye kyaggwera ng'omuwala agenzeeko kewaka ne bamufunisa olubuto. Yali tagenda kudda kakyawo nga kiwedde. But waliwo endala nali mu taxi nga waliwo maama n'omuwala we. Taata n'akuba essimu. Kati mu maama nga yayina essimu. Muwala we n'agimuggyako n'agimusikako n'ayogera ne daddy. Then olwamala ne banyumyanyumyamu kaawo. I felt very bad. I was like, this is something I've never experienced. And that's why I want to get married. That's why I will never get kids out of marriage. That's why after all those 10 years and with the stardom that came with it, I never got married. I never got kids out of marriage. All my friends have kids. Look at the likes of the Jacksters, the Webb Daniel Savachi J, the Douglas Rangas, the Wajidi, the Calvin, the entertainer. I like his story. So nagamba nze sirizaala okujjako nga ndi mu bufumbo because kyenjagala sikibangamu.
Okay, best moment in your life.
My best moment in my life, what could that be? My best moment, I think the time that I got hired nentandika okukola ku TV.
That's your best moment.
I think it was my best moment, but I didn't look at it that much. I don't really look at best moments in life. I just let life flow. Yeah. Embaga. Ka girlfriend nimukakoogereza kagamba muno kakyali katutebakola mbaga. Naye ndafunayo gwenfunza at least ndafunayo gwenfunza. Afuna olubuto at least tuzaale. Okimanyi, if I died right now, my dad's generation would be done.
True.
Because I'm the only boy. Yeah? Bano beyazaale bali all dead. Yes. So if I died now, my dad's generation kaput off. If I died now.